Hey YouTube, what's going on? This is my e-bike that I converted about 3 years ago. It started as a James X2 hardtail mountain bike in 2011. I think it retailed for 400 bucks. And I have so far more than 9,000 kilometers on it. And it's been great. Not many issues. My commute is 30 kilometers each way. That's about 20 miles. And I do that in 1 hour or less. Save quite a bit of money on gas and parking and whatnot. Also, I still get a lot of exercise because it's still a bike, regardless of the motor. Still pedal. And yeah, there's lots of hills in my commute between Vancouver and Coquitlam, and it's no problem for this guy, even with all the rain and stuff. Yeah, so let's look at this in detail. So this is the motor. It's a gearless, brushless hub motor attached at the rear. I went with this setup because, well, mid-drives are just complicated. Geared hub motors are louder, although they are smaller. Also, they don't provide regen braking, at least I don't think. I don't know about the newer ones. And this one is just dirt simple, a bunch of magnets and coils inside. Not much to brake, not much to maintain. Yeah, it's simple. This one is from 9C, 9 Continents. Bought it from ebikes.ca. I think I paid about 400, 500 for the whole set. Motor, speed controller, computer, and everything else. Throttle, all the cables and whatnot. Also, it came as a wheel set. It had spokes and rim, which I replaced after a year because a bunch of the spoke broke and the rim was wobbly, so I replaced it. These are Sapim spokes, stainless steel, butted, very solid. Custom cut for my application here. I bought them from ebikes.ca, solid. And then Alex rims, which they're wider. So the tires are a little bit fatter because of that. More volume, better cushioning, so smoother ride. What with this frame? Well, not because, but one of the reasons why I like this frame is because the dropout here is nice and thick, also very flat, so that no problem mounting this motor at the back here. And as you can see, there's no cracks or anything like that. 9,000 kilometers, no problem whatsoever. It's not gonna break anytime soon. So yeah, happy with this setup. So moving along here, we have this cable here going up here to the speed controller, which is in there. I think that one is 72 volts, 25 amps or more, can't remember. Yeah, I put it there because, being sandwiched between the rack, the pannier, and the fender here, it's well protected from the elements. Doesn't get wet at the same time since it's not inside the bag. It's, get decent air so that it doesn't overheat. It gets hot, but not, nothing would break on this thing. And as you can see, all the cabling are tied to the rack here, so it doesn't get caught with anything. And when you put down the pannier, it's very discreet. You can't really see much there. So the speed controller is right there. I can easily access it and flip the switch on off right there. The light is blinking because it's on. And right here we got tail light. Pretty decent tail light, bought from eBay for cheap, but still good. You know, if you're gonna be commuting a lot on an e-bike, do yourself a favor, get a good set of lights, front and back. You know, like they say, safety first, die later, or something like that. Yeah, so this is my pannier. Got a couple batteries in there. I also carry my chargers in here. I got panniers on the other side too. That's where my laptop, clothes, lunch, and everything else, they go in there. So the wire comes along out of the pannier there, and then along here it goes to the frame bag here, which has the rest of the batteries in there. I'll open this up. I have 6 batteries in there. Another compartment for like tools and stuff in there. Nice comfy seat with spring. My seat post has a shock in it, so you know, it gives me a smooth ride. Sitting there for like an hour each way, might as well be comfortable. Although it does add to the weight, but yeah. Well, that bike itself, with everything fully loaded like this, it's about 55 pounds. It's not a lightweight bike, but you know, you are being helped by the motor there, so it's fine. So on the front end here, you have disc brakes. You know, I would recommend having disc brakes if you're gonna convert your own bike. It's just more reliable. Easy, you know, they last longer too. Yeah, and they just stop better. I have Bone Trigger H2 wheels, tires. I mean, they're nice tires with, you know, good tread. Nice pattern here. I think I have more than 7,000 kilometers for sure, and it rains a lot, so yeah, you need to get like decent tread like this so that it channels the water efficiently and give you good grip. At the same time, it's not too aggressive as to consume a lot of, you know, energy, you know, rolling resistance and whatnot. It's still a smooth rolling tire. I think I've had one flat with this tire. Yeah, which is great. And yeah, so I'll look at the handlebars in a second here. But before we do, again, fenders with mud guards. Need that. Living in Northwest, pretty much mandatory. Yeah. So this is my cockpit. This is a Cycle Analyst. I think version 3, I think. Anyways, it's not just a bike computer. You know, it tells me a lot of things about the electric aspect of the bike here. In this case, it tells me the voltage, which is, you know, batteries are fully charged right now, so 66 volts. And I haven't cleared my last trip, so it's telling me that it traveled 29, almost 30 kilometers, consumed 26 amp hours of my capacity. This is my, you know, throttle gauge there. It's at the bottom because it's not running right now. The current wattage use, see, when it's rolling it goes up a little bit. Yeah, 0 kilometers per hour because it's just sitting here. Yeah. Oh, throttle control there, just like a motorcycle. You just turn it. Oh, just tries to move. Regen button, so press that, it just engine braking and then charges the battery at the same time. So next page here, same information: volts, amp hours, RPM, kilometers per hour. So next page here tells me consumption. In this case, on my last trip, it consumed about 1666 watt hours. That's roughly 53 watt hour per kilometer. Interesting here is that, you know, my battery is 66 volts with a capacity of 10 amp hours, which is 660 watt hours. So not sure where this 1 kilowatt hour extra come from, but it's there. Yeah, I need to figure that out, but can't complain. Again, more numbers here. Oh, here, this is interesting. So regen, 5%, which means, you know, 5% of the used energy was used from the braking, and it generated about 1.3 amp hours just by braking alone. The rest of the energy was, you know, from the battery, which is, it says forward amp hours, which is 27. Yeah. These are current, so minimum amps of 18, negative 18, which means the current is going reverse, going back into the battery. That's when it's regenerating. Maximum amps of 70, almost 72 amps, which is quite a bit considering, you know, typical house has a electrical panel of about 100 amps. Some are 200, but you know, for a bike, that's that's amazing. Minimum voltage of 57. Yeah, so to get your maximum power here, you basically multiply 72 amps by 57, so that's roughly 7 times 6. That's 4,200 amps. 4,200 watts. It's quite a lot. I guess that peaked about when I was going up hills. Yeah, like I said, even though the motor is only 500 watts, it will peak when you go uphill or you accelerate hard. But when it's you know, cruising, it's roughly 500 watts. Light, really bright. Apparently 1200 lumens, but pretty sure that's a BS number. Oh wait, there's more on this displays on this cycle analyst. This page tells me my velocity. So 51 kilometers per hour, averaging 32 kilometers an hour for 56 minutes and 7 seconds. Yeah, and the way it calculates it is that it only does the calculation when the tires, the motor is moving. And right now, since it's not moving, it doesn't affect the average. So next page here. So last trip, 29.6 kilometers. And total kilometers so far on my e-bike is that 9,600 kilometers. Yeah, which is awesome. You know. Oh, number of cycles, 79 cycles, which is like every time I reset my trip, it increments that by 1. Total number of amp hours used by the bike is 2,400 amp hours. This is great, no problem so far. Yeah, so that's the bike. Quite happy about it. You know, it doesn't look like an e-bike. I mean, it looks kind of weird with all those bags on it, but aside from that, it looks pretty normal. I actually can't wait to to ride it again to go to work. Alright, so I pull out the battery here. These are lipo batteries. I got 8 of them, and each one is a 20 5 amp hour 4S lipo, discharge rate of 20 to 30 C, so which means that, you know, for each one of these guys they can discharge about 100 amps without damaging the battery itself. It has a nominal voltage of 14.8 volts, and the way I have them configured is, you know, I have 4 in a series, and I have 2 sets of those wired in parallel. So like what the computer says, it's 66 volts altogether, and since there's 2 sets in a series in parallel, that's about 10 amp hours for a total of 66 watt hours, 660 watt hours of energy. Yeah, and each one of these guys is about $20, just over $20 times 8. It's not bad, 160 something dollars. You know, much cheaper than any e-bike specific batteries you can get these days. Yeah, and they're easy to maintain. They're actually for RC cars. I use one of these guys for a buggy, like 1/8 scale electric buggy. That thing rips at like more than 60 kilometers an hour, and I use this guy to charge it. It's a smart charger that charges, you know, lipos, NiCad, NIMS, and lead acid battery. And I use this to power the smart charger with 12 volts. It may seem familiar because it's a computer power supply that I modify so that, you know, it will supply 12 volts to this guy. And it's easy to do. There's just one thing you need a couple of wires you need to short inside, so that, you know, because normally you'll need to plug it into a motherboard for it to start it to turn on. And yeah, and that's, like, you know, they're cheap. You can get them from anywhere. You know, it gives you a lot of current, and obviously it's stable 12 volts. And I use this guy, and they're parallel boards, so that I can plug all these guys in there, you know, and charge it all at the same time. That charger will charge the batteries at around 14 amps at whatever voltage that it needs, and it'll do so in 2.5 hours. And this guy here is a voltmeter, basically. I just plug it in there. It tells me the voltage for each cell inside this pack, because the R4 cells in there. That's why it says 4S on it, and it tells me like how much voltage each one is. They're roughly around, well, not roughly. Nominal voltage is 3.7 volts, and they should never ever go down to 3 volts per cell. If you do that, you will be damaging your batteries, and, you know, they're not gonna last for a long time if you do that. For me, it's fully charged at 4.2 volts, and then when I get to work or get back home, I still have 3.5 volts, which is, you know, it's good. Not too much stress on the batteries. Yeah, and that's I bring this stuff with me on my bike, so I charge the batteries when I get to work. You know, after I get to work, wait a few hours for the batteries to cool down. Around lunchtime, I start charging the batteries at 3 o'clock. 3 o'clock, it's fully charged and ready to go. Yeah. And some say lipo batteries are dangerous. Well, they are if you don't know how to manage them, handle them. I've been using lipos for 10 years now, you know, on my RC, so I think I'm comfortable with them. I know how to manage them. Yeah, and if you know, and they're cheap batteries too, because they're common batteries for RC cars. All right.